I couldn't be more excited as my first guests are the stars of one of the most successful TV series of all time and the star of one of the least successful Roscommon minor teams of the 1990s. Together they are the creator, directors, stars and producers of the brilliant new Sky comedy Small Town Big Story. We're delighted they're here to join us tonight. Would you please welcome Christina Hendricks and Chris O'Dowd? Welcome to the show. It's a Valentine's treat for all of us, and I know, Christina, it's such a thrill to be working with one of Roscommon's greatest ever minor goalkeepers.
She brings it up all the time.
Yeah.
A man of many talents.
A man of many, many talents. Speaking of which, this is amazing. Congratulations to the pair of you.
Oh, thank you.
On your new show. This is a Small Town Big Story. You guys got to see this. It starts on Sky. 27th of February. Tell us a little bit about it. Chris, you're the creator and the writer.
Right. It's set in South Fermanagh, North Leitrim.
They're there already. They're there already.
I know what the people want. In this little town on the border that's had better days, you know, it's gone through the recession and the smoking ban and the abundance of nettles keeping the tourists away. So they decide that they're going to try and get some film investment into the town and maybe get some TV shot there. And they compete with this other beautiful town called Boyle in County Roscommon.
Yes.
For the honour of hosting this kind of Game of Thrones type show, but it's about Celts. And the producer of this said show, this Hollywood executive, is played by Christina so beautifully and wonderfully.
Thank you.
And she is originally from this hometown. And she comes back. She left when she was a teenager and her parents got divorced. And now she's back. And she's pissed off, Paddy.
She is.
Yeah, she's got a bit of...
You're pissed off so beautifully, Christina,
Yes.
in this. This is so, so good. And how did you get involved in this?
It was actually kind of a funny story. I was approached to do a collaboration with a clothing line called Joni, and I started doing some research, and I saw that they had done a collaboration with someone named Donna Porter, and I decided to DM her, and I said, "Hi, my name's Christina Hendricks. I hope you don't think this is weird, but I was wondering if you were open to talking about your experience." And she said, "Come on over to my house. I live in Los Angeles. You can touch all the clothes and feel other things." And I was like, "This woman's the best." So I went over there, and I was hanging out with their lovely animals, and she mentioned her husband, Chris O'Dowd, and I was like, "Wait a minute. You're married to Chris O'Dowd? I think he's fabulous."
That Chris O'Dowd from Roscommon? The minor goalkeeper?
What a fantastic
1997
couple.
Connacht final, Chris O'Dowd.
And then a week later, I get a script sent to me from Chris.
Meanwhile, I'm getting a text from Dawn saying, "You'll never believe who's in the kitchen." Christina Hendricks, and we had her on a list, and I was like, "Well, we'll never get her." And then it just felt like it was some kind of kismet, some mad thing that we had to follow up with.
It's so, so good. When you guys come together, this is what you get. This is Christina doing her stuff in Ireland.
It's important that you know I grew up not far from here. I recognize a few old friendly faces here and there. Is that Colin Buckley?
Colin.
Sorry, what is that?
Colin.
One more time, Colin.
Colin Buckley. The name's Colin Buckley.
Oh, Colin, like Gollum.
If you like.
Well,
Take it easy, will you?
it is great to see you again, Colin.
I'm Dermot.
Excuse me?
I'm Dermot Buckley. My older brother's Colin.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Colin.
So good. Now, I don't want to do a spoiler alert, but am I allowed to say there are aliens and Joe Dolan in this, Chris?
There is more Joe Dolan than you will imagine. Not as much as I would like. It would mostly be just wall-to-wall Joe, but he does play... He's beautifully kind of epic and almost kind of operatic. you know, he brings the stakes so high, and that's kind of what we wanted in the show. So there is quite a lot of Joe Dolan in it.
It just makes me smile that this is going around the world with Joe in the
And there
middle
is
of it.
certainly some cosmic elements, let's say, as we get into the show. Yeah.
And when you started filming this, was it your husband that saw a UFO when he came to Ireland? Is this?
Yes.
Oh wow.
And we're not.
How dare you laugh at this?
I know. Well, that was kind
She
of
was
Chris's
texting me. I didn't go on.
We're not normally UFO people, but we had just...
Which is unusual when you're from Tennessee.
Yeah, exactly. But we had just gotten to town and we were having a mattress delivered, and so George had gone outside to wait for the delivery, and he comes back in just white as a ghost, and he goes, "I've just seen a UFO." And I looked at him and I thought, that man just saw a UFO. I can tell he 100% believes it. And he got a picture of it and we immediately sent it to Chris. Right. And Chris was like,
said, look at
yeah.
I'm like, kind of in the direction of the Poolbeg Towers, I was thinking. but it looked... It
looked like a little light hamburger.
And George is 100% sure. And Paddy Considine, who plays the kind of stalwart in this local community, has also seen stuff.
Okay.
So I think there's something going on.
Was that more or less scary than swimming at the 40-foot, Christina?
Far less scary than the 40-foot, which I almost died in, you guys.
Oh, you did? You had a awful time in there.
Those bad sisters.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Because I love them so much, and I was like, I'm gonna go swim in the 40-foot like the bad sisters do. And I am terrified of the ocean already. And I got my dry robe, and I was like, I'm gonna be like a local, and I'm going down. And I noticed there's not really a lot of people in the water.
Oh, shit.
And it is kind of rough. But I had set my mind to it, and I was sort of like slowly lowering myself down. I thought, okay, now how's the best to get into, and before I could even think, I was underwater.
Oh, no.
Coming up like this. And a wave had just come and grabbed me and dunked me, and there were about 2 or 3 other men in there, and they were like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And George had looked down to take a picture, and when he came back up, I was in the water, and it looked like I was smiling because I was gasping, and he was like... and then I kept getting crashed back. I couldn't get back, up to the ladder, and I kept getting pulled back out to the sea, and luckily I got back just in time, and he was able to pull me out. But it was terrifying.
So you probably almost died in the 40-foot. How many episodes had you shot at that stage? Because that would have been a tricky rewrite.
Yeah, insurance days.
Yeah, we would have made it work, I'm sure. But
now, Chris, you're a big deal when you come back here. Well, we know who it is.
Wait, you're a big deal here?
Yeah,
baby. Okay.
When you come back to Boyle, do people know you, or is it...
Well, I mean, Boyle, I know them anyway from, I suppose, that height. But we shoot some of the show in Boyle. I have kind of noticed that people behave slightly differently when they know you're in town. Not necessarily because it's me, but they think they might get caught on camera. So people I've known all my life are wearing more makeup than they normally would. That's kind of lingering in the back of conversations wherever you are. Yeah, you never know.
You never know. And is it right that when you're in Boyle, you stay in a 5-star luxury accommodation? Tell us this is so cute. Where do you stay when you're back in Boyle?
Well, I stay in my childhood bedroom. Where else would you stay? Sure, she'd have the head slapped off me. Can you imagine?
Christina, it all becomes clear why this is the mind of a man who was able to write something about aliens and Joe Dolan. Sure, I sleep in my childhood bedroom. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, it's great. I love it. What else did you do?
Now, you have described Ireland, Christina, as, I think it was, cold, wet, windy.
That sounds right. Yeah,
But
that sounds
very,
right.
very pretty.
That's also right.
3 words that are also used to describe Chris occasionally. Did you feel at home when you were here? Because I think some people think there's an Irish connection, but there isn't, is there?
No, I've got the red hair, so people, especially in the States, are constantly like, "Oh, you're Irish." I'm not, and I'm not a real redhead either. sadly.
What?
But I know! You're fired! Yeah, I did feel at home. We loved our neighborhood. We were down in Glasspool, and it was just really nice. And we had our little local places, and we knew everyone who worked in all the places, and they were all really friendly and welcoming to us. We really enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Chris actually isn't a natural kind of salt and pepper.
No.
No, either. I think we actually, this is
Oh,
for you,
God.
Christina, this is Chris's real hair that he normally busts. This is very Billy Connolly here.
He looks so happy.
He does look so happy. He looks so happy. That was Moon Boy,
That
wasn't
was Moon Boy, yeah. We have Paddy Considine has a son in the show, and he's played by David Rawle, who played Martin Moon. So we've kind of had him. That must have been 12 or 13 years ago. And now he's this like 22, 23-year-old. You see him, and you can see him. He looks exactly the same, but just kind of bigger, which is how growing happens. But he's turned into this gorgeous actor. He went through drama school and all that crack. So it's kind of nice to see the graduation of him.
You mentioned there the red hair. That was something that you had for Mad Men, which was a show that kind of just completely changed your life. So many people love that show. At the time that you got that gig, I mean, what difference did it make to your career?
It changed everything about my career and about my life. It was extraordinary and a gift. And it really changed everything for me.
And your agent advised you not to do it. Is that true?
Yeah, it is true. They said a period piece on a network that they don't even have shows and no one watches, and absolutely not. It'll never get picked up. And I said, I don't know. I feel really strongly about the script. I think that there's something really special here. And they said, okay, well, you go do that, and we will no longer be your agents.
Wow.
So they dropped me, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you could do that kind of pretty woman moment where you go back, you look at these bats.
I don't think I have to.
No, you don't.
Was I reading somewhere, Chris, that you actually learned to play the trombone for this?
No, I didn't.
No?
I took a couple of lessons just so I could, on the day, because I kind of direct the first couple of episodes, I could at least know what I was talking about, while Paddy Considine really had to learn it a good bit. But it's an instrument I love. I love listening to it. And I have tried to learn a little bit more out of it, because I think these fingers weren't built for a trumpet. You know, it's all of this fingering, and I don't have...
No.
They're stubby and long, and it's not right. So I thought this is more my,
Yeah,
I
you
feel
have full
like
extension.
all of that, all of that.
Yeah.
No bother.
But not that.
Not this. No. These are not fingering fingers. Happy Valentine's, everybody.
And that, Christina, is the clip that we'll use. That's exactly where we're going with that. We have to say congratulations. Valentine's night, you were married last year.
I was, yes, thank you.
You got a little... there you go. There's a little,
Oh, yeah,
there's a little
that's
snap.
sweet.
You look stunning, darling.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I know that, being your first Valentine's with your new husband, that there's nowhere you'd rather spend that with two Egypts doing that on the
Stumpy
late show.
fingers over here.
By the way, have you managed to teach this woman how to say Egypt yet? Were you having a problem with Egypt?
Well, we were on set, and Chris was directing this particular episode, and he decided he wanted to rewrite a line, and he goes, could you say fucking Egypt? And I went, absolutely. And I come out and I go, you fucking idiot. And he goes, nah, Egypt. And I'm like, yeah, okay. You idiot. And he's like, I said, okay. I thought it was just his accent. I didn't know he was actually telling me to say it. And I was like, well, what the hell does that mean? But I caught on.
And this is how you know you're in Ireland, because you can
process.
actually tell that story, and people weren't concentrating on the other words. They were just going, idiot or Egypt, yes. Guys, thank you so much for coming in. Small Town, Big Story can be seen on Sky and Now on the 27th of February. I'm delighted to say you guys are going to